This story happened at 3 a.m. The case called The Missing Family of Willow Creek Road. There's an abandoned house on the far end of Willow Creek Road. Everyone in my hometown knows about it. People whisper things like, "The house where the lights never went out," or "the place where voices came through the vents." But no one ever knew the truth. I didn't believe any of it. Not until the night. I explored it myself. This happened in 2020. I was staying with my cousin Jake. He lived only 2 streets away from the house. And one night, while we were driving home, he pointed at it. The porch was collapsed. The windows were shattered. The roof was caving in. The yard was a jungle of dead weeds. The house looked dead. Jake said quietly, "Don't stare too long. People say it stares back." I laughed. He didn't. He told me the story. A family of 4, gone without a trace. Dinner still on the table. Doors locked from the inside. No footprints. No sign they ever left. The house sat empty for decades. Everyone avoided it. Jake warned me not to go near it. Said people heard things inside. Footsteps, scratching, whispers that didn't sound human. That warning did the opposite of what he wanted. It made me curious, and curiosity is dangerous. On Friday, Jake worked late. I didn't tell him what I was planning. Around 10 p.m., I grabbed a flashlight and walked to Willow Creek Road. Up close, the house was worse. The front door hung crooked. The air around it felt colder, like stepping into a freezer. I pushed the door open. The sound echoed through the empty rooms. Inside smelled like mold and dust. Wallpaper peeled off in long strips. The floor groaned under my steps. I walked into the living room. A couch was overturned. A children's book lay open on the floor, as if someone had just dropped it. My flashlight flickered. I tapped it. It stayed dim. I took one step deeper into the darkness. Then I heard it. A sound from upstairs. Not a voice, not a footstep, just a single, soft, sharp, clear, deliberate. I froze. Another tap followed. Then silence. My throat went dry, but I climbed the stairs anyway. At the top, 3 rooms on the left, and one at the very end. The sound had come from there. My flashlight flickered again, barely hanging on. I checked the first room, a child's bedroom, tiny bed, broken lamp, painted stars on the ceiling, and on the far wall, a handprint, small, gray, dusty, a child's handprint. I stepped back and felt something behind me, like a person, solid, standing close. I spun around. No one. Just the empty hallway. My breathing got shaky. Then a sound echoed from the end of the hall. The same tap, louder, closer. I walked slowly toward the last door. 4 deep scratches were carved into it. Vertical, jagged, like nails dragging downward. I pushed the door open. Inside was a single wooden crib. Old, rotting, blanket inside, faded blue, with a stitched name. Eli. My blood ran cold. That was the missing family's youngest child. The blanket twitched, just a little. Then a tiny voice whispered, "Mama." The flashlight died completely. The room went black. Something moved behind me. Footsteps, slow, dragging, getting closer. I ran. I sprinted down the hall, down the stairs, out the front door, and didn't stop until I reached the street. The footsteps stopped at the doorway, as if whatever was inside couldn't leave. I told Jake everything. He didn't laugh. He just said, "You're lucky. Most people who hear the voices hear more than one." I moved out 2 weeks later, but sometimes, in my new house, late at night, I swear I hear a small voice. whispering from behind the walls. Mama. The hidden basement under Harlan Street. I used to work as a property inspector for a small real estate company in Ohio. Most days were boring. Old houses, broken windows, bad wiring. But in 2021, I inspected a house on Harlan Street, and nothing in my life has ever been the same. When I pulled up to the curb, the house looked wrong. Not damaged, not haunted looking, just wrong. Like it was leaning somehow, slouching, trying to hide itself. The front door hung half open. The grass was knee-high. The windows were completely black. I didn't want to go in alone, but it was broad daylight, and I had a job to do, so I stepped inside. The smell hit instantly. Not mold, not rot, something worse, like old iron, mixed with wet soil, and something sour. I covered my mouth and took a few photos. Peeling wallpaper, a broken sofa, dust everywhere, normal stuff. But the house was silent. Not empty, silent, but silent like it was listening. I walked down the hallway, and that's when I saw it. A door. A small white peeling door between the kitchen and the living room. I checked the blueprint on my clipboard, and my stomach dropped. According to the floor plan, there was no door in that hallway, no closet, no storage, no laundry, just a wall. But the door was right there, slightly open, blackness inside. I pushed it wider. Behind it was a staircase, leading straight down. A cold breath of air rose from below, so cold I could see my breath. But the blueprint had been clear. The house had no basement, not even a crawl space. Yet the stairs went down, into darkness that felt way too deep. I aimed my flashlight. The light barely penetrated the dark. One step, the wood groaned. Another step, then another. The air grew colder with each foot downward. By the time I reached the bottom, it felt like winter. The basement was huge, much bigger than the house should allow. Concrete walls, dirt floor, and in the middle, a chair, a single wooden chair, facing the stairs, as if someone had been sitting there, waiting. The dirt around the legs was disturbed, dragged, shifted, recent. My flashlight flickered. I tapped it. It flickered again. I tried taking a picture with my phone, but the screen went black, completely dead. It had been at 80% upstairs. A chill ran up my spine. Something was wrong, very wrong. I turned toward the stairs to leave, and then I heard it. A scraping sound, soft, long, coming from the far corner of the basement. I turned my flickering light, hand shaking. The beam swept across the dirt and landed on something pale. A hand, a human hand, half buried in dirt, palm facing upward, as if reaching for help. I stepped back so fast I nearly slipped. The hand twitched. The dirt around it shifted, like something underneath was pulling it down. Then I heard it, a whisper coming from beneath the ground. "Don't look." Every muscle in my body locked. Then another voice right behind me, soft, close. "Go, back." I spun around. Nothing, only the chair, only the dark. The scraping grew louder, closer, fast, like something crawling upward through the dirt, or several somethings. I bolted toward the stairs. Halfway up, a cold breath brushed the back of my neck. A real breath, slow, moist, human. I lunged for the top, and the basement door slammed shut. Hard. I hit it shoulder first. It didn't move. The scraping below turned frantic, chaotic, like dozens of hands digging through dirt, clawing upward toward the stairs. I rammed the door again, and again. My shoulder felt like it was splitting. On the fourth hit, the hinge cracked, and the door burst open. I stumbled into the hallway, slammed it shut, shoved a cabinet in front of it, and ran out of the house as fast as I could breathe. At my car, I finally looked back. There was someone standing in an upstairs window, watching me. Tall, still, staring. I blinked, and the figure vanished. I reported the house as unsafe for entry, nothing more. 2 weeks later, the company sent another inspector. He quit the very next day. He wouldn't say why, only that. There's something alive down there, and it's not from here. A month later, the house was demolished, but during demolition, the crew found something buried under the foundation. Not a basement, not concrete, nothing, except a single object. A wooden chair, old, damaged, facing upward toward where the stairs would have been. I quit that job, moved away. But sometimes late at night, when my apartment gets too quiet, I hear scraping under the floorboards. Soft, slow, patient, like something is still climbing, still trying to reach the surface. And every once in a while, I hear that same whisper from beneath the floor. Don't look.